Welcome to Slash Forward. On this cursed day, we're going to explore the cursed film that was the furry paradise, the island of Dr. Moreau. Let's get to it. We open hovering over the Java Sea, taking a bird's eye view of a life raft. Its occupants are experiencing some intertribal differences, which cause these competing alphas to take their engorged red buttocks overboard and become shark food. Our survivor Douglas is adrift for a time, surviving long enough to be picked up and live the subsequent days as if in a dream. As he begins to recover, he gets to know the ship's veterinarian Montgomery, who tells him that with no radio, he'll have to stay below to hydrate and wait until they reach dry land to attempt to contact help. They arrive shortly at Moreau's island, and Douglas finds Montgomery playing with his dinghy, preparing a shipment of exotic animals. As they traverse the island, they take a moment to cuddle and kill their dinner for the evening, and then travel to the main compound. When they arrive, Montgomery requests he limit his movement to the main house. For liability purposes, of course. Nothing weird going on here, of course. So he waits his host and takes in some sights, assuming Aissa is only dancing in the open because she wants to be seen. She introduces herself as Dr. Moreau's daughter and skitters off at the sight of Monty. We learn that Dr. Moreau is a Nobel-prize winning geneticist who stole away to the island 17 years ago to conduct his research in peace. Montgomery then shows Douglas to his room where he locks him in from the outside, for his own good though. Later, Douglas works his way out, torso style, and wanders in the direction of a strange yowling noise. He walks in on a barnyard delivery, but of an unusual nature, and the baby pops out and looks at him like, "What?" And he's like, "Huh?" And then he runs off to be retrieved by Aissa, who offers to show him the way out so long as he promises never to speak ill of her father, which sounds like a fantastic deal. Their path is blocked by these dapper crimes against nature, forcing them deep inland, where the beasts are feral and hunger for meat. They eventually enlist the help of a primate brother named Sassy Man. Sassy Man! Right, like a man who's sassy, who leads them to the safety of the skycraft, where the animals await Captain Walker to take them to the land of high scrapers and knowing. The inhabitants here are friendly, if stinky, and they take sanctuary at a makeshift church, where we learn that monotheistic asceticism is going strong. But then the father, Dr. Moreau himself, arrives in his Pope-mobile. He demonstrates his empathy and power by giving Douglas a gun to assuage his fear and hitting the disobedient beasts with a zapper. Later, at dinner, they're joined by Moreau's children, and after a dramatic reading, get to talking about the good doctor's intentions. He's seeking to refine the human species and eliminate the devil he found in his microscope by interbreeding humans and animals. The monstrosities around him are tweeners, created in the pursuit of the perfect combo, which he believes he's close to achieving. He's offended by the serving of meat, concerned the island occupants may see the killing of an animal and partake in the practice. Douglas confirms that they did, indeed, see dead rabbits in the woods, so a trial is set for the next day. The trial is less about justice and more about setting an example through pain. However, when he attempts to demonstrate his benevolence, the message gets crossed, and now Lo Mai is yiffing in heaven. When Hyena is paying his respects, sifting through the remains, he makes a curious discovery and learns how to take control of his life. Later, Montgomery is administering medicine to the manimals. It's necessary to stop them from regressing, although the consequences of this are unspecified. He mixes in some recreational drugs to keep them happy and compliant. They spy a patient keeping his distance. When Montgomery tries to reel him in, he shows off his discovery and escapes into the wilderness, managing to evade the hunting party. That night, Monty confounds Douglas's attempts to communicate with the outside world, and enlists his help in finding Hyena before he spreads the idea of removing implants. Sure enough, the beasts are in the woods killing freely, unperturbed by threat of pain. They eventually sneak onto campus and are greeted by a bemused Dr. Moreau, who offers to show their ears music. He notices their bleeding flanks and the conversation turns to, "Why am I?" and "What's up with this life of pain?" Moreau palms the zapper for Mini-Me but finds it ineffective, and, as they aptly point out, no pain means no law. If no law, then they be animals. Douglas comes upon the wretched sight and manages to scare them off with some ineffective blasting in their general direction. They burn him, as is the custom, and wait for a sign of what to do next as Douglas goes for broke and fully hits on Aissa. She's self-conscious about becoming a kitty cat, but that's pretty much his ideal scenario. He runs to Monty's lab to look for the anti-regression serum to keep his little pretty breedable, but finds the lab destroyed and Montgomery in the grips of madness. At the docks, Hyena and the doctor's son agree to exchange implant removal for a gun cache. They then storm the church where Montgomery has initiated a drug-induced manimal orgy, and the stench is unbelievable. And then they kill Monty. Back at the lab, Douglas explains to Aissa that they intended to use his DNA to make the serum for her, but it's gone now, so he offers a direct injection. However, they're interrupted when the wrecking crew rolls through. Hyena attempts to consolidate his power, looking for the last 5-man to sign off on his status as God. Douglas vouches for him, but has a quandary. If they all ate the flesh of the Father, who is the one true God? This blows their animal minds, resulting in an immediate fight for top status, which ends when the more peaceful hybrids are able to take advantage of their superior numbers and restore order. Douglas then attempts to leave, promising to return, but to what? No one knows. We then end the movie on a sanctimonious monologue on the nature of man. And that was The Island of Dr. Moreau, a beautiful mess that significantly stalled the budding feature film career of Richard Stanley, director of Hardware. Next week we'll be rounding out his filmography with his recent release based on an H.P. Lovecraft story, so check back. If you enjoyed the video, I'd love for you to become a part of the channel by subscribing. Thanks for watching.